Well, as promised, we have cut a bunch more trees. In some ways, it doesn't look as much as I did. And I bought a Quonset hut. And this Quonset hut is a magical Quonset hut. It looks like it's holding potatoes, but it's really holding a bunch of wood chips. Yeah, I didn't get rid of those other trees we have over there, but I did get rid of the decorative looking trees, the ones that won't go through the Scorpion King from this area. In addition to that, I cut back over this way, up the hill here, until I hit that road over there, which is, as you can see, now I have a pretty good view of Grizzly Mountain. And, anyway, we'll see what we do. Don't necessarily need more farm fields, but hey, yeah, farm fields are farm fields. As I was cutting and thinking, it's like I think I said before, we need a little more storage for some of the vehicles that we have around here. So that was the real purpose of this. I figured, well, let me shove this guy down here. I don't think there is some area back here to have a field, but we'll see. We don't need every field to be huge, and if we came down this way towards that where the Scorpion King is down here, like that's a lot of distance over to that road. So if we could put a massive field or even a couple smaller ones, see how it goes. It's a lot of tree cutting. What are we up to on our tree cutting count to give you guys an idea? Where do we go? Here, right? 1,261. So just this area alone, I cut down around 180? No, 140. I forget. Because I think it was like, no, 180. So it's a lot of trees, but we got some good money. I don't know if you guys can read it in the colors up there, but we got $601,000, which will give us enough. I think tomorrow in game, probably the next episode, we'll buy a few more animals and we'll get them going. So, in any event, what I really wanted to do to finish off this episode was see about getting ourselves a placeable. And by the way, let's go show you this Quonset hut thing. So root crop storage, I'm pretty sure that was the name of it. I think I got this one from Mod Hoster. I don't get mods from too many other places just because I don't trust them. And even then, most of the mods I get are downloaded directly from Mod Hoster. And as opposed to those other links they have. I know that I haven't gotten a problem with the other links, but they limit how much you can download. And they download like you're on a dial-up connection if you don't pay or sign up for them. But anyway, you can say we can store potatoes, sugar beets. If we come up to here, if we come up to here and go over, we had the ability to store 100,000. Now, if you look at this, that's a lot of zeros. What's that? 1, 2, 3. So we can store 100 million in here. So we're now up to 869,000, which we could only go up to 50,000 before. So, I'm sorry, 500,000. We were putting them in this other silo. So I don't know if this game, I guess it separates it separates the silos. They did that in 17. Sorry. One of those moments. I remember in 15, like if you put stuff in this silo and then you had a silo across the whole map, you could get it back out of that other silo. Glad they fixed that. That was kind of a big, exploit or, lack of reality. Anyway, I started talking too much, didn't I? Because we were going to go and sheds, I think it is. I got another mod shed. Now, this implement shed is one that I got from the mod page from Mod Hub, from the farming simulator. You can get this right in the beginning, which I think means if you're on PlayStation or something. So what I was thinking of doing was plopping this guy, somewhere in that ballpark. I don't want to be too quick about this. Enough room so that we can get in and out. Yeah, you know what? Let's make them... Here, let's line this up. See that little bush right there? If I put a corner by the bush, now is it good this way? You know, I don't want it to be... It doesn't look great when I get to turning. That doesn't matter that much, but yeah, okay. A little bit, incorporate the whole bush plus a little bit. Should line it up pretty darn nicely with that other thing. So it's not... And then if anything, I want it a little further back. We're going to live with it there. How's that sound? All right, there we go. So now we have an equipment shed. Very nice. And we can pull out, do whatever we have to do. Give us a little more storage for the, well, just general stuff. I guess we can get a bunch in there. You know, I don't like it that it's not drive-through, but then we got this nice drive-through thing over there for the drive-through thingy stuff. And I think it's certainly fits with the theme of Grizzly Mountain better than some of those other buildings over there do. Not that steel buildings aren't popular everywhere, I guess, but let's do a little bit of painting stuff. So we're going to X the switch. And I figured out I have a game controller. That's that my throttle quadrant was locking me up, so I couldn't paint effectively. Now the big tool's great. One thing I learned, I don't know if you guys are doing this much or have done it much in the past, but if you hold it, like if I hold it here, my money keeps going down even though it's already, so you really want to get in the habit of, you know, clicking lightly. Let's get rid of that bush. Like, don't just drag everywhere, you know, like it'll keep costing you money. At first I didn't know that. How's it look? Yeah, see, now this is like another issue. See, if we paint, we're not going to get grass, but if we want like just natural grass around here, what we should do is come in here and paint this. We learned this in another thing. So we want to paint that with grass. But the problem is now this will stay not grass forever. Not like the actual plant. It'll stay the green color, but not. Let's make that one size bigger. So we'll get rid of all that, huh? I don't want to go too overboard because I don't really know what we're going to do yet as far as where buildings would go versus where... Let's get rid of that little bit there too. Yeah, very nice. Let's see. Turn our view this way. Yeah, now what do we do with this other one? This kind of has dirt road to start out with. Let's go over to dirt road. At least get it. Oh, you know what? I should have kind of left it like that, huh? Let's do a little bit of... Yeah, let's see. taking away some of the roadway, aren't I? It's all right. We're getting rid of those. Put the roadway back. What do you think if I left? I don't want to leave a bush in there. Does that give the... Nah, that looks stupid. Well, I don't know. You could get more creative with it. But, and I don't know that stupid's the right word, but... Let's fix this up a bit. There we go. Oh, you know what? There's a spot down here that I did not own. It's sort of been annoying me. Yeah, see that spot right there? I didn't own that. Boom. I'm kind of glad I remembered that. All right, how's it look when we're on the ground? You know, not real fancy, but, you know, your root crop storage is... Got that bush there. Now the thing is, now that we painted this, I could come back and plow it. I'm not sure if I'm going to. Depends on how much like this screen annoys me. And I'm almost certain that nothing's going to grow there. We'll keep an eye on it. Maybe it will grow. Well, no, we can tell right here, can't we? Because if it doesn't show up on here, I've learned grass. Yeah, see, right? I don't know if you guys can tell, but oops, I don't expect that to... This is where that building is, because there's where the other one is. And you can see it still shows up on the map this way, but like the building is a square right here, and you can see where I painted some of these areas away. Let's go to growth. Yeah, see, I painted those areas away right there where you can see them. That's all right. Not the end of the world. But it's fun. I'm glad that you can do that, you know. My only other complaint with the doing it is it's sort of like it sometimes it's hard to put down. It's like, oh, there's an object there. Damned if I know what's there. Like I was just moving it around and like somewhere over here you couldn't have placed that thing because it just wouldn't go down. It said something's here, but I drove over with what I did was use the wood chipper, Brux chipper, to get rid of those trees, and I drove back and forth with that and went over to a test map, and the same thing happened. And so it's like, I don't think it had anything to do with the trees that I cut down, you know, like, so I tried to plow it and do like nothing was there. You couldn't see anything, and tried to like narrow it down exactly where it was going to be. And anyway, it didn't work. So yeah, I think that's a, you know I didn't really accomplish too much, but we got more storage, and you know, I mean, I guess cutting down 200 trees or whatever. Yeah, I guess you had to add some for the decorative trees, you know. And I think I'm just going to keep on cutting, you know, and maybe we'll come back when, you know, tomorrow when we have some crops harvested. Let's take a look at that real quick, since we were on there a minute ago anyway. So these are dark green, which is the sugar beets, and then this should be our soybeans over there. Yep, everything. Oh, did that grow yet? No, so these are real light. These are just planted. They haven't grown. They'll grow tomorrow morning. The grass will grow again at some point. There you go. Yep, soybeans and sugar beets. We'll rent some equipment to do the sugar beets. Maybe we'll come back for that. How's that sound? And that'll be early in the morning. And I like it because I can come here and hit Control Z. Oh, what, did I lose my mod? Where's my... Let me get in the tractor. Oh, where's my growth control? Shift C? Alt C? Oh. There it goes. Shift Z. Yeah, left Shift Z. I thought I hit that. All right. Well, let's go where you guys stand a chance of reading that. It says wheat and whatnot will grow in 2 hours, which is at like 8 o'clock at night, which should be dark, which is not so great. But at the same time, Yeah, and soybeans in 2 hours. Same time, maybe what I'll do is just let them sit there and go to the second grow. Or no, you know what? I'll get them at 6 o'clock in the morning. And then it says grass is going to grow in another 11 hours. So that won't be until, well, they'll be grown by tomorrow morning too. So how are we making out with our silage, speaking of grass? 40% done. So we have a little waste, but I bet you that'll be done by tomorrow. And then we'll probably be able to make some TMR, and maybe we'll do a whole, I don't think I'm going to show much of the beet harvest other than maybe the start of it. We'll make most of the next episode about getting the animals and feeding them all up. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, farmers. Trevor here, and I am back for another episode on Grizzly Mountain, the lazy farmer. And I have gone around in between episodes and just painted things with the train tool, kind of made them look better. There's some spots I may change. I drove around and realized I didn't, do something like this where it's cut off and kind of goes around. So, but we'll see. Another area I'm not sure about is this one here. I think I may put more of that gravel out that way. But who knows? We may put a building here eventually. As we gather more equipment here, we don't have any space for everything at the end, But anyway, I think it looks better than it did. Now we need to get some other stuff. So we still have our silage going. It's really not that long after the last episode. And as promised, I went and got what should be an auto-loading thing that we can get the wool up. It should be able to take pallets. I'm not sure what its limits are. Let's take a look in the shop real quick. Gets its own category under tools. It's just called the auto-load pack. I got it from Mod Hoster. And the one that we bought was the DPW 180 mit Aufbau. I don't know what Aufbau is, but I figured since it's more money, it must be better than Standard. Anyway, so we got mit Aufbau. The other one I was really considering was maybe this one, but it's just a little bit smaller, so I don't know. Whatever. We probably could have used it because this one's one of those turny trailers, which is for me never ideal, but we'll see. This might have to go into our big shed over there. So, all right, what do? Auto load, select pallets, auto load, work mode on. Sounds like what we want to do. U, okay. Z. Looking for mission pallets. I don't know what that is. Select pallets. Work mode on. L. Alright. Fats and belts works. Yeah. Oh, I'm hitting O. There we go. So is it one of these? Yep, there you go. Alright, so let's hit U to turn that off, and we'll hit L. That graphic's not too great. Hopefully they are stuck there. Now, I have not... in all the hours, which I don't... We could even take a look, but it's been quite a while, obviously, that I've been on this map. I have not sold... I have not even been down here other than when I, first got the map. So I should not even assume... Before we go all the way down there, I am assuming we have a sell point for this wool. Let's come here and look. Yeah, we got a spinnery down there. So it looks like this building on the left as we go down. Yeah, I guess that would have been a good thing to check before we got sheep, huh? Let's not go too fast. Now, one of the things as I drive down here is, you know, we've kind of used up most of what I would call our good farmland that we've purchased. And this would be the area that we would come to for land that we already own. It's getting a little bit away from our farm. So what I was thinking maybe we would do, and maybe even in this episode, is buy that piece of land across the street. I could use some more money. Now, obviously, we could buy some. Okay, let me just focus here. So we could. Let's just see. Can we sell it? Oh, look at that! Wonderful. How much did we get? Did we just get 236? Or I'm sorry, 2,300. Let's go. You know what? While we're in here, let's check our wood chip prices. Nah, I always hope it changes when I log back in and out. All right, so bales sold wool. Yep, 2,300. Better than a syrup stick in the eye, right? Got a while to go just to even pay off the trailer, but it's nice. We won't have to. Let's turn those belts off. Yeah, so there it is. Not too much, not too fancy, huh? I think that's something that you would think if you're in such a rural area, you're not going to have a lot of options as to where to sell your crops. Now, I know a lot of maps tend to, make it seem like you're in a bigger town in a sense, and I know that was actually a big issue, especially when the railroads came along in America anyway. It was a big issue because they really had, like, these grain places really had the farmers by the balls, so to speak. Farmers didn't have many options other than to sell to their local grain place, and they were really at their mercy at that point. In any event, there's our sell point. We have now sold it. And we need to find a place to put this guy because that was, I don't know if it was a day's worth. I think it's been like a game day at least since we bought those sheep. About a game day. Yeah, so I think to get the cows, if we were to get 100 cows, we would need $200,000. Now, obviously, we don't need to get 100, but we don't have silage yet anyway. I am going to put this guy right here for right now. So the fact that we don't have silage quite yet, and we probably are ready to get some horses, but we're getting kind of low on money. Let's see if we come up to here and go to lands. I don't think this piece here is very expensive. Where is the price? Yeah, 42,000. So let's go ahead and do it. And at least that way we own it, and we could, it just makes too much sense for us to have access to that land, like as far as rather than, I know this isn't that far away, but rather than going down here, I'd really like to go. Now that we own it, it seems to me like we could just, if we want to put up any other buildings or do certain things, it would make sense to do it right in this neighborhood. Plus, because if we haven't cut down enough trees, we have some more trees, which equal money. So, is that what we do? I guess I should have thought it through more, but yeah, I think so. Let's take a look at our sheep, make sure they don't. We just kind of cleaned them out at the end of last episode. So yeah, they're happily clean and certainly don't need any more feed at this point. Take a look at our fields again, just to see how they're doing. Not that I don't kind of know, but hoping nothing's going to surprise me here. So there's our sugar beet field, our grass field, our canola, and then we have sunflowers and we have soybeans. So we've got a fair number of fields. We might end up making another field or two here or here. I think down in this area would be decent. There might even be a decent area up in here, if I'm remembering correctly. I guess this is where they sort of intended you to start, is up here, but it's awful kind of hilly. I could see why. All right, well, anyway, let's take a look at our stats real quick and just see how long have we been. Does it tell you? Time played. There it is. Jeez. 51 hours. So a pretty good amount of time. And almost 1,100 trees cut down. And if you look, as far as everything else goes, they don't really tell you much about what we sold here, but those few pallets were there. The only other thing I've sold besides trees. So I'd have to say that, if you want to play Grizzly Mountain, and I'd be surprised if you aren't, if you're this far into the series, but definitely with the auto load trailer on the logs, it really makes it pretty reasonable to do. And while it may be hard and a pain that you have to cut down the trees, you get money for it. So in a lot of ways, this map is easier than doing a regular map where you have to earn your money through whatever few crops that you plant. So that would definitely be my impression. All right, well, I don't think there's that much to do on the farm. All the crop fields are in good shape, which I expect. And I kind of expected it to slow down a bit once I put that 12 hours versus things growing every 5 or 6 hours. So that does make quite a bit of sense there, doesn't it? So I think what I'll do now is come in here and, at least straight ahead of me, probably cut trees, in this general area. Let's hop out of here, get away from the bushes so we can see a little bit. In this general area, I'll cut down a bunch of the trees so that we just have room to see what's what. You can see the mountain right there, Grizzly Mountain. It's not too far away from us, but I think I'll try to clear out an area in here. That'll give us a good chunk of change. That chunk of change can be used for purchasing some more animals. Hopefully by then we'll have silage ready, and we should be able to at least make a little bit of TMR for any cows, and then we'll probably have enough money to get sheep and pigs and horses as well, at least some of them. All right, well, let me do that, and then I will be right back.